Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Laying It Out. I'm Chelsea Pockets.
And I'm Scotti Dempsey. And this week, we recorded a super fun AMA where we set out a Google form and a type of poll thing on Instagram. So thank you so much to everyone that submitted responses. We were expecting like 4, and we definitely got way more than that. So it was super fun to answer those, sit down, record. Also, this week, as you may see in this intro, we are apart, but in your future and our past, we were together. So we had to record the AMA together, and we had so much fun doing that that's going to take up the whole bulk of the episode. So no real need to sit around and have a chit chat about what's going on because we do enough of that. So Pockets, I'll see you in Philly. Hello, and welcome back. And where are we?
We're both in my bedroom.
This is weird.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Scotti popped on down. If you follow us on Twitter, we talked about it. And actually, we talked about it in the last episode.
A little bit, yeah.
But yeah, Scotti popped on down to Philly for the weekend, a little MLK, long weekend action. And it's been fun.
Yeah, we've been chilling.
And drinking a lot of alcohol.
We would never. But yes.
It's really funny because like 6 months ago when Scotti moved into her apartment in New York City, I hung out with her for a week to like just hang out and help her move in and stuff. And we were like walking every day. We saw like all the sights that you could see for free in New York City. And then here it's like COVID's bad. It's the middle of January. It's cold.
It's like 20 degrees at the daily highest.
And I did tweet. I was like, oh, we're going to be... Most of the activities I planned so far are like what food we're going to make. So
we've made a lot of food.
We have made a lot of food. Let's see. You got here Thursday night. We did wine and cheese with one of my roommates. We made Crunch Wrap Supremes. Homemade Crunch Wrap Supremes.
That was like lunch and dinner.
We did a big breakfast. So we've been making a lot of food. We got some things for Wawa.
We did.
Wawa now really likes Scotti. We got her a cat tower.
Debatable if she likes me. She tolerates me.
Yeah, she doesn't really like anyone. We got her a cat tower, a water fountain. Scotti tried to teach me how to crochet.
I did.
I'm not very good at it. I don't think I have very strong fingers, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's a little frustrating.
I'm also not a good teacher, but...
It's okay. You also, Scotti started crocheting on like Tuesday and has mastered.
I'm good at knitting.
You're really good at crocheting. She made me a little bumblebee.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we've been doing. Just a weird, lazy weekend.
Yeah, which has been good. Which has been honestly necessary because in New York, I'm always going every day of the week. And I'm like, if you want to hang out with me, it like has to be on Thursday.
Yeah.
And even this Thursday, I have like a work party. Oh my God. So yeah, I have a lot going on. I'm going right back into the storm, even though it's supposed to snow this weekend or tonight.
So
we'll see if I can get home.
Yeah.
But
and then, we wanted to do Frisbee this weekend. Like Thursday night, we were drinking wine and wine drunk, and we're like, yeah, we should do pickup. We should see pickups happening. And then Friday morning, we're like hungover. And then we drink again Friday night.
Yep.
We're like, yeah, we're going to do Frisbee tomorrow. Definitely. And then we're hungover Saturday. And then we didn't drink too much Saturday. And we woke up this morning. Scotti, like last night, she was like, oh, I'm setting an alarm for 8. And then when we wake up, we can see if pickup's happening. She alarm goes off. She looks at her phone. She's like, it's 8 degrees.
We're not going outside if we can help it.
And we're like, oh, maybe we'll throw. And now it is 5 o'clock. It's dark outside. And we're not.
No.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, we've watched a lot of TV and just kind of hung out and enjoyed each other's presence, which has been good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I've enjoyed it. So, and then we wanted to also record a little special because we're together. This is like our off-season special because it's the middle of the winter, and who really is playing that much Frisbee right now?
You are.
Yeah. That's my brag of the week. But yeah, so we decided to put together a little Ask Me Anything form, which we got a number of responses to, both on the Google poll we put out, or the Google form we put out on Twitter and on Instagram. So yeah, we wanted to go through those and record them together.
We'll jump on in. The very first question we got was from Nuke. Nuke, if you're listening, no, you're not our favorite Lehigh alumni. Sorry.
Sorry.
We're not going to reveal who is. I don't even know who's your... I don't even know if I have an answer.
Yeah, I don't think I could answer that, but I know who it isn't, since he tried to assign it to himself. And that's Nuke. So, congrats, I guess.
Nuke, you're our least favorite Lehigh alum.
So that's getting that off the table. The first real question that we got was, what D3 team stood out the most to you at College Nationals? Which team are the most excited to see at Spring Nationals? I think I missed a word in there, but I think that might be a little bit more directed towards me.
Oh, definitely.
What team stood out the most? I mean, like, Middlebury just, like, kicked ass and took names. It's kind of hard to not be like, oh, wow, yeah, they stood out. I didn't know much about D3 women's, like, the standings and how they were going to line up. And, I mean, everything was kind of a crapshoot anyway, just to see how, like, they competed against each other. There wasn't much of a fall season to see, like, how they would compete out of region. Yada, yada, you know, so I'm going to take the easy answer out, say Middlebury. I mean, there were so many players that, like, stood out individually. A lot of times, you know, you can't win stuff as just an individual player. So it'll be exciting to see those players come back with their teams, hopefully. But which team am I the most excited to see at Spring Nationals? You know, I really would like to see more of Union. They had a really dominant fall season. Their coach is Coach of the Year. That article should be coming out after we record this, but before it is released.
No spoilers.
I can share that. And they just had a lot of heart, and I think it'll be interesting to see how they stack up, because I think they've never really been challenged before. So to get, I think they got like 7th. Hopefully they'll come back with a vengeance. And I mean, and of course, we're always going to support Lehigh, but
yeah,
we're trying to not be biased.
Well, I'm going to be biased because the only D3 games I watched was Lehigh. Mm-hmm. So obviously I want Lehigh to go, but that's like the only experience I had watching D3 at Nationals.
Yeah.
And next question in the same realm of College Nationals, and hopefully this will be the last time we talk about fall College Nationals, because I feel like we've done 3 episodes on it now.
Yes, this is our 3rd with Nationals content.
Is College Nationals more fun as a player, a reporter, or a coach? I have my ranking. You go first.
So mine's a little, I mean, it's just like, obviously it's personal to my own experience because this is an opinion question. Wild. I would say as a reporter, it was a ton of fun. When I only went to 1 Nationals as a player. I was a sophomore. I was a rookie. I didn't know what was going on. I saw the field 3 times. I would have preferred to not see the field any more than that because I was so nervous I was going to mess up and like everyone was going to hate me. So I was just really stressed, and I was like still trying to fit in with the team. I didn't really have any friends yet, like any good friends. So it was way more fun as a reporter because everyone that I worked with the whole weekend was so nice, and everyone was so excited to all be there together. So I am really excited to possibly go back and report at Spring Nationals with all the same people because I liked everyone like so much. It was great.
No, it looked like you were having a fun time.
I had so much fun.
I would say like I'm going to rank the 3. Honestly, I think being a coach at College Nationals would be the worst experience. It's not a bad experience.
I don't think I would be so stressed.
Yeah, like being a coach in general is just stressful because you are responsible for how the team does because you have been training them for months and months on end, but you also have the least amount of ability to affect how the team does, if that makes any sense. But yeah, just like a coach is like a stressful experience. It's fun, it's rewarding, but also like you're there and your whole role is being responsible for the entire team, and you don't get to play, which is always like a fun part of Frisbee, and it's just like a little bit stressful. But when you're a reporter, I feel like there is like an expected level of fun, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you know what you're doing. You don't really care about the outcomes of any of the games. You just want them to be exciting games. Yeah. So if there's exciting ultimate happening, you're having a time. And a player's experience, like I had a great time when I went to College Nationals. Like a player experience, I think it also depends on what level of player you are and how well your team does. Yeah. So if your team does really well at Nationals and you're one of the key players on the team, you're going to have a good time at Nationals. Yeah. But you can also have a bad time at Nationals. You could have like a bad injury or your team just does worse than expected or something like that.
Yeah. I will say though, I think a lot of the teams that were in like the 13th place bracket particularly Kenyon, had a freaking blast.
Yeah.
Kenyon went 0-3 on their first day, and I think that they had the most hyped sideline of the whole day. They were so fun to be on the sideline with. So let's hear it for Ohio Valley. But I mean, they had a ton of fun. They were at nationals. Like, what's not to have fun? So
yeah, it's also
I was like to some degree jealous because I was like, I want to play and I want to have the fun, and like the glory is like, I mean, glory. Yeah, I'm such a narcissist. No, I was like, just like, oh man, like that looks like fun. Like I'm their age, but also that was part of why reporting was so fun, is I could actually have real conversations with all these kids. Like a lot of these teams didn't even have coaches. So I felt like that was a benefit for me, because I was very approachable for them. Instead of being like some weird rando that's just like, hey, you want to talk to me about Frisbee? Like I could kind of be their friend. And it's been fun kind of continuing to do those interactions on Twitter as well.
Are you insulting the Ultra World cast of reporters by doing your little gremlin impression?
A direct attack on Mike Ball and Zach.
Hey kids, want to talk about Frisbee? All right.
No, I am not.
But yeah, no, I feel, yeah. Okay, we gave her.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. All right, next one. Moving away from college nationals. Who was someone you looked up to when first getting into the sport? So I feel like for the both of us, when we were getting into the sport, at least for me, freshman year, I didn't realize like how big Frisbee was. I was like, oh, this is just something I'm doing as a club. Yeah. So like the two people I looked up to the most were my two head captains on my team, and they were really cool. There was basically me and one other freshman girl, Jessie, who were like the two freshmen that were most invested in the sport. And then there were two head captains. So the four of us would always like be in the car on the way to tournaments.
That's really cute.
And it was like a fun experience, because I could ask the captains questions on anything. I kind of heard some like insider details about like, they're like, oh, this player had like a good performance. I'm like, oh, that's something that I can work on, blah, 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 blah. And they were just nice people.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were definitely the two people that I looked up to.
Yeah. Team dynamic was a lot more chaotic when I joined. We had some very talented and athletic players, but like I think when you choose to like look up to a player, you also want to emulate who they are more as a person. And I think that there were definitely some setbacks. So I looked up to you a lot when I first joined. I know, isn't that gross? And I was, because like you also cared the most, but you were like the most willing to like share your knowledge and like how much you cared, instead of like, I felt like a lot of people either were like trying to like gatekeep. We don't need to get into the dynamics of the drama that was Lehigh Ultimate. But yeah, no, I looked up to you a lot because you were good and you were nice.
Well, I was a captain, right, when you joined?
Yes.
All right. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people when they join their first year of college, they look up to their captains. I didn't know club was a thing.
Yeah,
my first year. And then
I mean, obviously,
I was halfway through like the summer after my freshman year of college, and one of the captains on Gravity reached out. She was like, oh, like this women's club team in New Jersey is looking for new people. Like they want to fill out the roster, just a few more spots. You want to go try out? I'm like, adults play Frisbee? This is something I could do during the summer? And I don't know why I didn't think.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't have a brain cell there.
It was like peeling away the curtain of being like, here's a secret society that now you get to be a part of. And I was like, whoa, this is a big secret society. A lot of people do this. So yes, I also did not know.
Let us know if that was like a thing. I want to know if that's a thing. I don't know. I did summer league too, and there were adults playing in summer league.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't click. All right, next question. Who is the best coach you've ever had? This is an anonymously, I cannot speak, submitted question. So I'm wondering who asked it. If it's someone that knows us, or someone just random. But Scotty and I were talking before we started recording. We haven't really had a lot of coaches in our life.
Yeah. Because, like, I ran track, which was a non-cut sport. So, like, we had one coach to manage, like, 80 girls for, like, the sprinting team. And, you know, I, like, was varsity and, like, had some semblance of a leadership position, but, like, we didn't even have elected captains. And then, like, our hurdle coach liked my sister more. My parents listen to this, they're gonna get upset. But he just, like, I mean, she was really good and she was way more motivated. So, like, it was kind of like...
Well, she got a scholarship for track.
She did. She did. So, and I mean, like, of course you're gonna like the athlete that is more involved. It just was like, it was tough. So yeah, as far as coaches go, I don't really have a lot of ones to pick from.
I had a softball coach 5th and 6th grade. That's when I played softball. And I didn't like him because there was one year where I was like, at the beginning of the season, I was like, Coach, I'd be interested in learning how to catch this year. And he was like, okay, cool. Noted. And then in the middle of a game, he's like, Skew, you're up. You're catching. I'd never done it before. And then the entire time there's the ump behind me.
Yeah.
And like I keep missing all the balls. The ball's going behind me because I don't know how to catch. I don't know how to just sit there. It's hard to kind of just squat on your knees for a bit.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, this is what happens when you don't have an experienced catcher. I was 10.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old and I had this adult woman nagging on me behind my back.
Oh no.
And it's also scary. Like they're swinging a bat at you and like 10-year-olds swinging a bat. They're not great at it yet.
Yeah.
So that was a shitty experience. And then my next coach was high school volleyball. Well, I had like 3 different high school volleyball coaches. The freshman year coach was nice. The JV coaches were great. They were really nice. But then like my junior and senior year, we got a new coach on the team. So junior year, he was like super nice because he was the JV coach at a different school. And now he had the opportunity to be the varsity coach. And this was his time to shine and like make a team. So he's super nice my junior year because he wanted us to all like get to know him, whatever, build the team chemistry. And then senior year, something kind of like snapped in him. And he's like, oh, I want to win because
that's also no good.
My high school volleyball team sucked. Mm-hmm. I'm 5'7", and I was the tallest person on the team.
Yeah.
We were bad. So he just, like, got really mean. I cried a lot that year. Like, every away game, I was crying about something.
No.
So, and then I had lubes.
We had lubes.
It was probably both of our answers.
Did he ask this question? Maybe.
I don't know.
You know what? We're giving a genuine answer. And, you know, as much as I was joking with him at Nationals, like, oh, like Cody 2021, like, not this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah, no, I appreciated him as a coach.
Yeah.
He's nice. He's always gives a lot of good advice, at least to me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's fun to be around. We're still friends with him today.
Yeah.
So that means good coach.
Good coach.
You could be friends.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What is one off-field aspect you want out of a team the most? Example, time spent together, loose and fun attitude, focus and shared goal.
So this is another anonymous one.
Yeah.
I'm curious, actually, if, like, someone that knows me asked this. Because this is something that I talk a lot about in regards to my club team and, like, in regards to also talking about, like, do I want to try out for a higher level team? Do I think I would make a higher level team? Like, what is it about this club team that, like, I didn't even play, really. Like, I was injured and I had stuff going on. Like, so I didn't play, but, like, I hang out with them all the time and they're, like, my group of friends in the city. So, like, what is it that, like, drew me to this team? And, like, why is it, like, why would I not want to leave? It's, like, time spent together, like, off the field and, like, how much we just enjoy hanging out together. And, like, you know, we're talking a lot about drinking already, but, like, at the first tryout, I went and I played 3 hours of club level Frisbee, and, like, I was pretty out of shape and I hurt myself, but I didn't know that until the next weekend. And, like, it was, like, 3 hours of mixed club with a bunch of people that I didn't know. Actually, I didn't know anybody. I went completely blind, knowing no one. And I was hoping that, like, our Twitter friend, Connor, who played on that team, but he moved, so he wasn't even there. Like, I knew no one showing up. And then afterwards, like, we all went to the bar, and I stayed for, like, 2 more hours at the bar, just, like, talking to all these different people. Like, I did not meet a single person that, like, I got a bad vibe from. I enjoyed everyone. I, like, remember I was, like, going home, I was sitting in the subway, and I texted my mom, and I was like, I found my people. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I love this group of people. And, like, that was part of why I was so bummed I didn't play. And, like, part of why I'm so, what's the right word? Like, I'm so upset that I didn't, like, just for the external reasons that I didn't. And I'm kind of, like, resentful of the fact that, like, those things have happened. But, like, it's in the past.
And you still got to meet that group of people.
Yes.
And I think you needed that summer to kind of, like, get back to Frisbee because you had been off of it for so long.
Yeah.
And you had just made the biggest move of your life.
Yeah.
To a brand new city. One of the biggest cities in the world.
Yeah. So I did have to learn the subway system to begin.
This was your first time having a full-time job. You had a lot on your plate.
I had a lot going on.
So
yeah, then I went to one of their tournaments in Van Cortlandt Park, and I was like, only going to go on Saturday. And then everyone was like, it was so great having you here. Like, do you want to come tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, I do. And like, I brought people coffee and I tweeted scores and like, I had so much fun. And I was like, okay, like my initial feeling was correct. I'm glad it was solidified, and I'm glad that I continue to enjoy hanging out with them. So this is my long-winded way of saying, what do I want out of a club team most? Like, I don't think that high level, like elite club is really in the cards for me ever. Like, even
not
if
ever.
I think more not like as a skill level, but like the amount of effort and energy I have for it.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I would like give up having like a more casual group of friends. Like, we're still very into Frisbee, but like an amp level, like club team where I would have to put in so much extra work to like stay in shape, to keep on top of it, this and that, versus like also keeping on top of my job and having a social life, which is like very important to me.
Yeah,
so
it's gonna have a balance.
That's kind of being like the fact that everyone's friends on this club team, I think, is something that I wanted out of a team the most.
Yeah. I think for me, the biggest one is that everyone takes it the same level of serious. It doesn't have to be everyone takes it super seriously like it's a high-level club team. But, like, Peep Show in the past, and I'm going to shit on the college students for a bit that were on the team. Like, you'd have these adults that, like, lived in the Lehigh Valley area, and they would show up, and they would really want to do a club team. And not that the college students didn't care about the team, but they would, like, roll up to practice late or just barely on time. Some of them would be hungover. And it's just like, oh, like, that can really hurt a team.
Yeah.
If you're expecting those people to, like, be there on time and stuff. But I think Peep Show this past year and the college students that were there, for the most part, they were pretty good. They like, wanted to show up on time. They wanted to put in the extra work. And then be there. And I think also, like, Peep Show knew, like, the captains knew, like, oh, this is people's first year since COVID started that we're going back to clubs. So they also didn't, like, make it super intense.
Yeah.
Practices were, like, Sunday afternoon every week because they were like, oh, we want people to be able to enjoy their weekends since this is the first time people are, like, going out again. Summer of 2021. And then, but still also want to play Frisbee.
Yeah.
And then the team did its best in its entire existence. We made it to regionals.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah, I think being the same level of seriousness amongst the team is important to me. And then also just, like, that personable, like, everyone could be at least friendly with each other. Not necessarily have to be best friends. But, like, oh, I would want to go out with you after practice and get a beer or something like that.
Or even, like, my club team is not necessarily, like, I don't want to use the word codependent in the way that, like, our college Frisbee team was a little bit.
Well, I think, college Frisbee teams, you do everything together because you're also going to college together.
Yeah. But, like, the fact that, like, we went on a retreat and I could sit down next to anyone and, like, I wouldn't have to, like, think about where I would sit and, like, oh, like, pick and choose, like, who I could talk to. Like, sometimes I felt like that was a vibe maybe within some other friend groups that I've been in. But, yeah. So that's was valuable to me, is, like, if you're comfortable off the field together, you're going to be very comfortable on the field together.
Yeah.
Cool. What has it meant to have a ride or die teammate, especially in these troubled times?
So this is you and I being ride or die.
I assume so.
Unfortunately, we haven't been actual teammates in a long time. 2018, summer of 2018.
2019. That was Peep Show.
Oh yeah, summer of 2019.
That was right after you graduated.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we at least told each other this before, so before Laying It Out existed, we had a little podcast called the PS Files that had like 20 listeners, and it was all of our friends. All of our club team friends who now listen to Laying It Out. Yeah. But we started it because, God, when did we start that? October-ish of 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Scotti and I had got like very close, I think, the fall of 2019, because I graduated that spring, but then didn't have a job, so I went back to school for a bit. And And then Scotty was in her senior year. So we got really close that year.
Yeah.
Or that semester. And then like COVID happened and we were like, wow, we like miss seeing each other and hanging out with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start this podcast as an excuse to like talk to each other once a week at least and see each other on camera and stuff.
And we also had like our funny little like pipe dream of being like you said last time we were recording, it was like, oh, like when you're with your friends, like I'm sure everyone's like talking about like doing a YouTube channel, and we were like talking about doing like Twitch streams or something of us playing Minecraft poorly, which we did once on Ultiworld, and we should totally do that again.
We should do
that won't kill my internet.
But yeah, even though we haven't been teammates in a while, it is really nice to have like a best friend that I know I'm gonna at least talk to and have a real conversation with like every week or something. And like in these troubled times, like with COVID, it's been hard seeing each other. Like we actually talked about this weekend. Scotty has made a lot of new friends in New York because she kind of had to, because she moved there without knowing anyone.
Yes.
I was lucky moving to Philly. I had a few old college friends in the area, but also because of that, I haven't made many new friends because it's been hard.
Yeah.
You can't really make friends if you sit in the house all day.
Which we did all weekend.
But no, it is nice to have that one person.
Yeah.
You can always be like, oh, right. This person has my back no matter what.
Like,
so.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, what has it meant? Just, it's been very comforting, I think. Especially when I get stressed out, I can be like, and Pockets is a very good listener. So when we need to do that, like, I just need to be heard. It's nice to have her there.
Yeah. Next one. What are your personal long-term Frisbee goals? I mean, is this a goal or is this a dream? I would like to one day either play for like a very elite level club team or play for a pole team. I think that would be, and you did mention like, you don't know if you would ever like be able to play for an elite team just because of the time commitment. Mm-hmm. Like right now, I definitely wouldn't have the time commitment, but if one day I lived with my boyfriend and didn't have to drive 2 hours every other week to see him, and can kind of get that under wraps, then I would think I would have a lot more time. And then I would also have a built-in workout buddy. Yeah. He and I would like push each other like, hey, you gotta run.
Yeah, that is
do
good.
Your thing. So that's like a long-term. And then I guess to like make it maybe more reasonable, like the one thing I think in my game that I have to step up is my throwing ability. So more long-term or less long-term goal would to just be like improve my throwing and be more consistent with my break throws, I think.
I need to work on that. Yeah. That is something that I need to work on. Cause like I said, with Winter League, everyone that plays Winter League is very committed to Frisbee and they're all really good and they all have many years more experience on me because like some of the Columbia college kids that are on my team have been playing since they were in high school. Which means that like I have like 2.5 years of Frisbee experience and that's not great. But well, I mean, what can I do with it? I can only get more experience by playing more Frisbee. So like, whatever. What are my long-term Frisbee goals though? Like for my own ego or whatever, like I'm very competitive and I think that I like the idea of playing on like, a high level club team, you know, like I like the idea of it. I'm trying to be realistic, but I don't need to give you a whole action plan. So yeah, like maybe sometime I would like to play on like that level of a club team. I need to work on a lot more of my like emotional stuff in terms of like not getting really stressed out on the field. I think I need to work on my confidence, a lot. And I think just another thing is like I need to not be in a rush to like be really good. Like I'm athletic and I like know what to do. It's like more just like the practice of like getting there to be able to execute it. And that's the other funny thing that we were talking about. Like I didn't know that Frisbee existed long term at a college. And like in the example of track, which I did in high school, and like then my sister ran track in college, and like, you know, that's over for her. But like Frisbee doesn't really end, and like I don't think I'm at my athletic peak yet, which for track, that happened when I was 17 years old. So I've been like, man, like it's just all downhill from here. But
I'm an old 24-year-old.
Yeah, I'm ancient. But yeah, then I was like talking to my boyfriend and I was like, man, I'm playing with these people that are like 30 and they're kicking my ass. And he's like, yeah, they're like, Frisbee you don't peak in the same way. Like Frisbee is like a long-term life thing that you can do. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's the other thing is like, I just need to not be in a rush. And then I can, like, change my goals as I go.
Yeah.
To see how it fits.
Kind of on top of that, just to, like, last thing for this question. I need to, like, have more self-discipline and force myself to do stuff. But then also not get upset when it's like, oh, I wanted to run yesterday, but I didn't. Might as well not run the rest of the week. Like, I get that in my head where it's like, all right, it's Sunday night. I'm going to run tomorrow morning, get a good start to my week. And then I wake up on Monday. I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
And then I don't run the rest of the week because I'm like, I ruined the week.
Yeah.
So I had a bad Monday. I got to get that out of my head. I'm like very calendar focused for some reason.
Something to talk about with like your therapist.
Trust me, yes.
Anyway, speaking of staying calm, our next question is how do you stay calm when there's a frustrating situation in a game? Which I feel like is a fun question for Pockets.
Oh, God. So my history with anger and Frisbee. Freshman year, like, I didn't do anything because I sucked at the sport. And then sophomore year, I started getting good at the sport. So, like, better players would match up against me. And I had this history of, like, punching the ground.
Which is, like, so, like, out of character for you. Because for the most part, you're, like, so chill.
Okay, I don't care about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm chill. But I really care about Frisbee.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to Sponge. And I was like, oh, man, like, I wish I was more into Frisbee. He's like, shut the fuck up. Do you know how into Frisbee you are? Like, you have a podcast, you coach, I played, like, 4 days a week in the summer. He's like, shut up. So, yeah. And then, like, junior, I think we talked about this sophomore year when Gravy went to nationals. The captains made me spirit captain. And then that really got in my head. I was like, oh, like, I should be like a spirited player, and not even just like a spirited player, like, oh, good job, like high-fiving the other team or whatever, but just like being a respectful competitor, and stuff like that. And like, I really took that to heart, and I feel like I had that, and I had that junior year, I had that senior year. And then COVID hit, and then we played club, and I was like, yeah, it's Frisbee again. I'm gonna get into it. I'm like, I'm an adult now. I don't drink as much as I did in college. I have more free time to work out. I'm like, I'm gonna get good at this. And then the anger came back. And now I gotta figure it out.
Now you're back to square one.
Like, I'm not punching.
I guess, like, being aware of it's the first step.
Yeah, I'm not punching the ground anymore, but I am doing this thing where if, like, someone, like, hand blocks me or Ds me, immediately when I get on defense on them, I'm, like, a little too close. And, like, that kind of thing. And I'm like, ooh, I'm an asshole again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess.
How do we stay calm? I mean, because my other thing is, like, I'm, like, 2 steps behind you in the sense of, like, I joined and I was bad. And then, like, I played at nationals and, like, we hung out. I mean, what did I do? I guess I didn't really do that much with summer league the second year. And then, like, I don't know. I just, like, didn't contribute a whole ton until my senior year. We played club that summer, came back. Then I was, like, a little bit more of a playmaker, especially once we split into A and B. But then, like, in my club season, I mean, I was kind of like, especially when I was on D-line, so I would get D.
You get a little physical too.
That is something I'm working on, and I actually have been really good about it.
There you go.
So that is something that, like, I'm like, almost like, I'm taking the biggest step away from it, and, like, I will say Peep Show didn't help because we had a lot of guys that were way too physical, and that normalized it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I am very focused on playing safe, and I just feel like I'm not as involved in frustrating situations. And when one comes up, I take myself off the field, and I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I need to get better.
There's layers to it. There's first, like, recognizing it. There's two, if you don't have the right coping mechanisms to deal with it in the moment, like, remove yourself from the situation.
Mm-hmm. My thing is I won't put myself back on.
Yeah.
I'm like, I get scared to do anything.
You're in step 1.5 then.
Yeah.
You got to get ready to leave the situation and then come back when you're ready. And then I guess, like, the true way to combat it is, like, having that conversation with yourself. So, like, before I went to nationals, I was spirit captain. I was like, this is my goal. I want to be a spirited player. Like, nobody expected Lehigh Gravity to make nationals that year. Like, I'm not going to care too much about the actual score of the game. I want to care about each individual play. And am I proud about what happened on the field?
Yeah.
And then also not getting upset just because someone's better than you. Like, I think I'm in that sphere too, where it's like, okay, I don't work as hard as I want to. So they're allowed to be better than me. I mean, anyone's allowed to be better than you, but I want to be a better player. So I shouldn't get mad that someone else is doing the work and I'm not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough. We're definitely not experts on it.
Yeah. It's a good question. And it's a good thing to discuss. Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, as we keep saying, I have a lot of growing to do, and there's a lot of stuff that I wish that I did better in college and could have been more spirited or whatever. So can't take that back. Anyway,
yeah, that's a good question.
What's your pre-game meal? I don't know if this is pre-Frisbee game or
it's definitely pre-Frisbee game, but when I first read it, I also thought, oh, pre-game meal, because also in college, at least what me and my grade would do a lot is start drinking at like 2 p.m. on a Friday. And then it's like 5 p.m. and you're like, I have to figure out what I'm going to eat so I do not die.
I ate so much mac and cheese.
So I was like, oh, the meal during the pregame. No. It's probably what you eat before you go play a game of Frisbee.
Which is a good question, because I recently have realized if I eat a cup of yogurt at like 8:30 a.m., like when I log into work, I feel so much better throughout the day because then I'm hungry, my digestion's going. So like, I think it's really important to eat something. Honestly, probably yogurt at this point. Like, it's just like easy to eat. And it's not like, I feel like sometimes if I eat like a bagel too early in the morning, it's like too dense. And I hate running when I have a bagel in my stomach. And I always need coffee. But
yeah, I also can't do a lot of heavy eating. But in college, especially senior year, I would drive to every tournament, and we had a lot of tournaments in Vineland, New Jersey, which is like a 2-3 hour drive from Lehigh. I get the same thing. I go to Dunkin', walking down the street, little walking distance. I get my medium coffee with cream and sugar, and I would get a bagel with cream cheese. And then I would eat that all, and then the coffee, by the time we got to the field, I had to poop. So I got food, but I got it out of the heavy feeling out of my system. Yeah. So then I could run. But now, at least like Peep Show last year, I feel like a lot of our tournaments. How many tournaments? You weren't there.
Probably like 5 or 6, including sectionals and regionals.
Because sectionals and regionals we slept over, so there wasn't that long distance to the field. And then Philly Open was very close to. It was in Allentown. Yeah. So I didn't have like the ability to eat beforehand. But I do think eating even something small, even if you're one of those people like, I can't eat, blah, blah, it hurts my tummy. If you eat, you will feel so much better. Even if it's like almonds or grapes.
Yeah.
Or
like
pretzels.
Something that is like completely inoffensive.
Little bird food.
Because like, especially before a Frisbee game, I can be like so nervous that I don't want to eat. So like sometimes the act of like chewing something makes me want to be like, throw up. So I don't have to chew yogurt. So that's why it works for me. But or like a smoothie, like just get something kickstarting your digestion and then later have a Cliff Bar. You'll actually be hungry for it. Like you do have to keep eating throughout the day.
So that's tournament. If it's just like a one-time league game, I will not eat hours beforehand because I will either throw up or get heartburn. Which is not good.
I mean, I think throughout fall league, I would just get a bagel and then eat half of that before league and then eat the other half after.
That's smart.
And that works pretty well.
So a lot
New York City bagels.
Be fan of bagels. Philadelphia bagels suck. I miss my New Jersey bagels.
I was scorned by a Wawa bagel this weekend.
It was bad.
It was bad.
But that's okay. Next question. What are your jobs? Lindsay, our editor, asked this.
We're getting into the personal questions?
Yeah. Also, I personally feel like my work life is boring. But Scotty is excited about her job. Well, no, I'm excited about my job now.
Yeah.
I've had a new job for 2 weeks now. It's actually really exciting. I work for a cybersecurity company. I'm something called a platform engineer. And that basically just means like our cybersecurity software. If any customers like have issues with their configuration or they want to add something, I will go in and make the changes. That's basically it. I've been doing it for 2 weeks, so I can't speak too much about it.
Yeah. I guess I can talk. I mean, so I've actually been kind of involved in recruiting for my company lately, which has me, I have a whole spiel about my job. And I'm going to try to not be like that, like New York City, like finance bro that like thinks like their job is like more important than everyone else's. Cause like in reality, I kind of just also look at spreadsheets and like talk to people on the phone, which when Pockets and I were working together on Friday, it was like,
Scotty didn't work on Friday. Scotty.
Don't say that.
Scotty threw up like 7 times on Friday. I did the most work.
You really exposed. Yeah. Well, if I was doing work, it would have been the same. Well, the work that I managed to get done, which was like the bare minimum that I was assigned, was the same, like, and talking to my boss and like doing Excel spreadsheets.
To be fair, Scotty was on the phone with her boss at like 8 a.m. and was functioning. Yeah. It just got worse throughout the day. It was that Wawa bagel.
It was I blame the Wawa bagel. Yeah. So, when I actually am like functioning to do my job, I am a data consultant. I work for like a pretty big public accounting and consulting company. I'm like obviously the consulting arm. I'm supposed to be specialized in data cleaning, visualization, like utilizing it to like help businesses operate better. So that's a lot of like corporate buzzword jargon. Right now I'm really heavily involved in PPP loans and the processing of those for small businesses. So that way they could stay afloat and like not have unemployment go up so they could continue to pay their employees. I have to be pretty cognizant of all these different, what's the right word? Privacy and like a lot of different legal jargon, compliance things. So I like it. I really like it. It's really rewarding. I like everyone that I work with. That's the most that I'm like, I really have on like the most basic level of what I do for work. Yeah.
Scotty really likes your job.
I do really like my job. And like, it's really not a pain in the butt for me to get up at like 8 a.m. Well, no, I get up at 7 a.m. to log into work at 8 a.m. And then work until like 5 or 6. But it's like, it's not too much. And I really like my work-life balance also because I'm able to play Frisbee 4 days a week. So
yeah. If I had my dream job, I would be living in a van and playing Frisbee.
Yeah. I like my job a lot. So
all right. We only have 2 more questions left.
Yeah.
Who is the second best Marvel character after Captain America? They specifically put that in the question. So we did a TikTok on my TikTok account.
Yes,
that was. I don't know if anyone knows the sound, but it's like Marvel check with Bestie or whatever. And Scotty's favorite Marvel character was Iron Man, and mine was Captain America. So we are also taking Iron Man off the table.
Okay.
Who's the second best Marvel character?
The thing is now I want to change my first best to Spider-Man.
Is that after No Way Home?
I actually haven't seen No Way Home.
Oh my god.
Listen, I don't go to the movies.
It's been out for like a month.
I also don't watch movies.
Oh my god. All right. Well, you can just say Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man too. That's probably not my answer just cuz like I don't know. I feel like I was like too young. When did the Tobey Maguire movies come out?
I don't know. I was too young for
I was too young for that. Like I don't know. And then the Andrew Garfield ones were good. But I was still like, superheroes, not sure about them yet. Oh, no, wait. I remember I loved the Fantastic Four films, the original ones with Chris Evans.
Shocker.
Do I have a type? No.
It's Chris Evans.
Yeah, my second favorite Marvel character is Chris Evans.
Yes.
Actually, I don't know. Who is my... I like Loki a lot. I feel like he's an interesting character, and the Loki TV show was really good.
Yeah, it was.
But that's like a recency bias, I feel like. Because also, like, Wanda...
This is the best answer that you can give at the time, so it could change.
Yeah. I'll go Loki for now. It might change. I feel like second best is always going to be changing.
Yeah.
And I like Sam a lot, too, as the new Captain America. I like Bucky, the Captain America realm, the family.
You just like Marvel.
Yeah, I just like Marvel.
Yeah.
Do I have a least favorite character? I don't know.
I don't either.
I find like...
I watch these shows and I'm like not like super invested in like the characters as individuals, so
I gotta show everyone something. 1 second.
I know exactly what you're going for.
If you're watching the video version, I got a replica Captain America shield for Christmas.
It's huge.
I'm so happy. It's really heavy too. But Sponge got this for me. So
I love it.
If you ever questioned how much I like Captain America, continue.
You may want to put that down. Anyway, our last question is a good one.
This was
fun.
submitted by Pharaoh.
One of Pocket's roommates. What is Wawa's Frisbee name?
So for Wawa's Frisbee name, we gotta talk about what type of cat she is. So for people that don't know Wawa very well, she's a 10-year-old-ish cat. We don't really know. She was found behind a Wawa. She has some trust issues with people. But she also likes being around people.
Yeah.
And meows and stuff. And for people that don't know cats don't really meow at other cats unless they're kittens, but they do meow at people because they know this is what humans respond to. So we think she was around other people before and possibly abandoned and now has some trust issues. But she's just also a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
She's a 10-pound little angry cotton ball. And she has a constantly resting bitch face.
Yes.
But she's also she likes me a lot and she likes one of my roommates a lot and she's very cuddly with us.
Mm-hmm.
But she has a bit of a temper. So I feel like we have to go based off of that. Give her a Frisbee name based off of that.
And she'll come up to you and invite you to scratch her on the head. That's the only really place that she likes to be pet. And then she will tell you very firmly when she's done. And if you try to continue, she will just smack you.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Hard.
So do you know any... So Scotty also this weekend called her an art gallery cat because you can look and appreciate the art, but you cannot
touch it.
Do not touch the art. Do you know any famous artists that are also have a temper?
My God, I don't know many artists' personalities. I feel like a lot of them were.
We could go off of Van Gogh because she has a cut ear too.
She does have a cut ear. Right, I like that.
So Van Gogh,
Vincent,
or
Starry Night.
She's a pretty little lady.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give her a masculine name. Starry Night. What are some of his other paintings?
He's got that one with the skeleton with the cigarette.
I don't know what that was called.
That's just funny. There was the whole Van Gogh immersive exhibit in New York City, and I did go see that with one of my mom's friends. She was in the city, and she was like, "I want to go to this. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And she paid for my tickets. So that was even better. But so there's an immersive exhibit in New York. It was on one of the piers down by the Brooklyn Bridge. So that's why I've got all my Van Gogh knowledge.
You have limited Van Gogh knowledge.
I know. I really don't have a lot.
All right, we can go back. We could go with the temper thing, and we can go with the Marvel thing, and go Hulk. I don't really like the Hulk.
No, he's kind of boring. We could also just do other gas station and go Sheets.
Oh my God. No, we're not calling it Sheets. I don't like the other side of Pennsylvania. Someone did tweet Cammy on Twitter, retweeted my thing, because we also bought Wawa at Cat Tower this weekend, She's like, my biggest regret in life is not naming one of my animals Wawa. We will definitely be having a gas station themed litter of kittens this summer. And then someone commented, hoping Come and Go doesn't make the list.
That's a gas station.
I know, but
that's so funny.
Oh, God. Well, I don't think of Wawa as a gas station. I think of Wawa as, like, my fast food breakfast of choice.
Yeah. This is also tough because Wawa is already a goofy name.
Yeah. So we should give her a serious name.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, okay. Wait. So Vincent Van Gogh, there's a movie, My Cousin Vinny. And then there's, speaking of Marvel and Spider-Man, Marissa Tomei, who plays Spider-Man's aunt in the newest trilogy, was in My Cousin Vinny. What's her character's name?
Aunt May? In Spider-Man?
Yeah. She is an Aunt May in Spider-Man. She's Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa Vito.
What if we just called her Mona Lisa? Because she is always watching, and she's a piece of art.
Yeah, I like it. We can give her Mona Lisa.
I like it. This joke's got layers, and it took us like 20 minutes to get to. Not really, but...
Right. So Wawa's Frisbee name is Mona Lisa. She will not be stopping by a field near you. Because she
does not travel well.
She'll attack anyone that she sees. Like I said, we got her a cat tower. It's 6 feet tall. She likes sitting on the top of it, but she keeps giving people like drive-by scratches as they walk by if they get too close to her.
It's been fun being here with Wawa.
Yeah, she does. I mean, she's sweet, but she's also a bitch.
Yeah.
She's like the Mona Lisa.
Yes.
What's hiding behind that smile? The world may never know.
The world may never know.
All right. Well, this has been a really long segment.
Yeah, I think this might be our off-season. This is our off-season special.
Yeah,
Ask Me Anything.
We're filming this segment first, so this might be the whole episode.
Yes. Well, it was fun. Thanks everyone for submitting your questions. Oh, also, I mean, we did get one other submission. It was my boyfriend. He only wanted to answer our second question on the form.
Oh yeah, we made if you answered on or didn't answer on the Twitter poll, we had another question that was, how many holes are in a straw? I personally have been victimized by this question all throughout college. We would have screaming matches trying to figure it out. But your boyfriend answered one.
Yeah.
A lot of people answered one. So yeah. I feel like that's right.
I mean, I'm inclined to go with one, but I wanted to acknowledge everyone and thank them for submitting questions.
Someone said 1.5.
This was fun.
Which is wrong.
I'm sure they're just being difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was fun. If you enjoyed it, let us know. I'm sure we could put something else together if you have any more questions for us, but I don't know if we're necessarily great on the Frisbee skills advice, but...
No one asked us Frisbee
not skills, I guess just not getting frustrated on the field.
That's the one thing.
That's one thing we have to work on.
We're angry bitches just like Wawa.
That's why we get along with her.
All right.
Yeah. But that's all we got. Thanks so much for sending in questions and tuning in, as always. From Philadelphia today, I've been Scotti Dempsey.
And I am Captain America.
And we'll catch you on the flip.
They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun.
I just spit.
Hot.